Broadcasting live all across this country and around the globe, this is HomeTalk USA, right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network and the World Wide Web. XIM Products, manufacturers of quality paints, primers, and sealers, proudly presents America's favorite home improvement self-expert, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. You're invited to call the show with any questions or comments concerning home improvements, new construction, renovations, home repair, or anything else pertaining to the home. And now, as we begin this hour of Home Talk USA, the man from the Bayou Land and Apollo Media's radio talk show host of the year and the most recognizable name in all of home improvement radio, your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King.
Yay! That's right. Welcome to the only home improvement radio show that's dedicated to you, the American consumer, the American worker, and all the U.S. manufacturers of American-made products. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be live here for the next 3 hours. That's right, right here on the Lifestyle Talk Radio Network, and also simulcasting on their sister station, the Business Talk Radio Network, and all their national radio affiliates. Got a great first hour for you. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to have Tom Cucinato with Cucinato's Pool Service. We're going to be talking about this revolutionary pool pump. Well, basically, it's this variable speed pump technology, and we're going to be talking about energy savings. We're going to go right into the energy audit. We're going to take 3 different energy audits from around the country, California, the Northeast, Florida. So we're going to have Tom Cucinato with Cucinato's Pool Service. Now I'd like to welcome to the show. His name is Tom Cucinato with Cucinato's Pool Service. And the last time he was on the show, we talked about this variable speed pump and the savings that these speed pumps develop. But Tom's going to do something a little different on this show, and he's going to be doing a energy audit from around the country, different states like Florida, California, out in the Northeast. So I understand Tom's on the line right now. Hey, Tom Cucinato, Cucinato's Pool Service. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Michael. How are you, sir? Once again, it is truly a pleasure to be on your show and have a chance to talk with your listeners. I could not be happier to be here. In answer to your question, what you were just saying is in order for the listeners to understand the true value of energy efficiency and the savings that the IntelliFlow variable speed pump can produce for the homeowner, that's what exactly I would like to do, is travel to 3 different states and do an energy audit. However, before we get started, if it's okay with you, could you save 3 minutes at the end of the show? Because about a week ago, history was made in our industry, the swimming pool industry. I hold it close to my heart, and I'd like to make an announcement about it and talk about it. I think it'll sum up the whole show that we're going to do today.
Okay, we'll do that right at the end of the show, and I'll get our producer, John, to keep a clock so I can make sure we can get about the 3 minutes in. You got it, my friend. Well, Tom, before we get into this, tell us a little bit about Cucinato's Pool Service, a little bit about the company first, and a little bit about the Pentair variable pump system, and then let's get into the meats and potatoes of this, and let's save my listeners some money. What do you say?
I'm all aboard. You got it, bud. All right, the Cucinato's Pool Service. I live, eat, and sleep saving my customers money. It's my passion is to be the best pool guy I can possibly be, and walk away from the backyard leaving that customer with the best pool equipment they could possibly have. So let's get straight into an energy audit. We're going to start in my hometown. Let's go just do an energy audit in the state of Florida. And the 3 states that we're going to do, Michael, what we're going to do is all 3 pools are going to be the exact same size. They're going to be 15,000 gallons. They're going to have a run time of 10 hours a day. The difference in each state is going to be the actual energy rate, the cost per kilowatt hour. And that's how the variable speed pump is so valuable in saving money. So we're going to start here in Florida. We're going to have as I said, a 15,000-gallon pool. It's going to have a 1.5 horsepower pool pump. I don't care what brand the person has in their backyard. Doesn't matter. A regular pool pump that's running 10 hours a day, the cost of running that pool is $1,132 here in the state of Florida for 10 hours a day. If the homeowner lets me cut the pump out and put a variable speed pump into the equipment, the actual cost of running that pool now is $97 a year. That's $1,035 a year in savings. Now, that's pretty significant, wouldn't you say?
Oh, you got it, my friend.
Okay, well, let's take this a little step further, Mike. Let's take and do 5 years. Say the homeowner's going to be in that at least 5 years. That's $5,175 in 5 years that this pool pump is saving that homeowner. That's really crazy money. I mean, there isn't an appliance in the house of the homeowner with a swimming pool that can save that kind of money. So now let's skip all the way across the states and go all the way to California. And this is where the savings is going to be even crazier. Okay, the cost per kilowatt in the state of California, it varies. The rates vary from 24 cents per kilowatt hour, go all the way up to 40 cents per kilowatt hour. So what I decided to do is I went right down the middle. And I'm doing this energy audit's going to be at 32 cents per kilowatt hour. Again, 1.5 horsepower pool pump. Doesn't matter what kind of pump they have in their backyard. We're just talking a regular conventional pool pump. 10 hours a day, 15,000 gallons. The cost of this exact same pool in California is $2,414 a year. If we cut that pump out and put it in IntelliFlow variable speed pump in, we are now at $206.17. You heard me right. That means the actual savings for the homeowner in California.
Are you serious?
Because we've slowed their pool pump down to a very slow speed that's not necessary during the day. It's still filtering the pool. We're talking about $2,208 in savings per year, just by slowing the pool pump down.
And it does not hurt the performance or the operating system of the pool itself. It's just like you're not even missing it. Am I correct?
You are correct. Where that can vary would be if you have an autovac in the pool. Obviously, at a slower speed, the autovac is not going to work. But the variable speed pump has the ability to program the pool to jump up at any time during the day. So let's say the pool's running from 8 to 12 at 1,100 RPMs, which is equivalent to close to 1/4 horsepower. From 12 to 1, we could ramp it up to 1.5 horses, and it's not even necessary, a 1 horsepower pump. Let it run for an hour, let the pool get vacuumed, program it from 1 o'clock to whenever it's going to end. It'll go back down to the slow speed, and that's where your whole savings is. There's no reason to have that full 1.5 horse pump running all day long. And remember, we're talking about 1.5 horses. What if they have a 2 horsepower pump? And a lot of people do. And how about the homeowners listening that have 2 pumps or 3 pumps? It's absolutely absurd the amount of money that's being wasted when nobody's there to see the pool all day. Everybody's out working. The only time you need those waterfalls going is at night or on the weekends. So that's the beauty of the variable speed pump. So that savings times was $2,208. Now let's multiply that times 5 years. It's $11,040. That's a lot of money. I just can't imagine that anyone wouldn't agree that that's just serious money that's being saved by the IntelliFlow pump. So let's take and go to the Northeast. We're going to do a pool in the Northeast. You still with me?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you what, because, my network, the network you're on right now, the Lifestyle Business Talk Radio Network, Tom is in Greenwich, Connecticut. So this works out. I'm sure our producer, John's going to listen to this.
Oh, awesome. This is perfect. Now, I don't know what I could do it if I get on my website, but typically in the Northeast, the cost per kilowatts range anywhere from 14 to 24 cents per kilowatt. So what I did today was I went and I'm going with 18, being modest, just doing 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Now remember, horse and a half pump, 10 hours a day, and the cost of this pool pump, a regular pool pump, is going to be $1,358 a year. Okay, cutting that out and putting in a variable speed pump will be $116 a year, saving $1,242 a year. Hey, if your producer is to, if he was to switch this pump, and let's say he doesn't have a heater, I don't know the situation, but he wants to save money towards a heater to put on his pool and maybe convert it to a salt pool, let's think about that. 5 times $1,242 a year in savings would be $6,210 a year.
Hold on, Tom. Hold that thought right there, because I want to talk about that, because this is huge. And this is the Pentair Interflow pump, right? So we're going to talk about that when we come back off a break. Tom Cucinato's Pool Service, one of the leading distributors of the Pentair Pool Interflow variable pump, speed pump system. That's what we're talking about for pools. Welcome back, everyone. This segment of Home Talk USA, though, is sponsored by one of my great sponsors, Waste King Food Waste Disposal Systems, wasteking.com. And don't forget to check out the Build with America website at buildwithamerica.com. You can check out the show. That's right, I host another radio program here on the Business Talk Radio Network every Saturday morning, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's right, in the morning, Eastern Time. And talking about the Build with America radio program, our guest, Tom Cucinato, will be our guest in the morning. That's right. Well, Saturday morning, going to be our guest on the show, on the Build with America radio program, and I'm excited to have him. But, hey, he's on Home Talk right now, so we're going to keep him here for a little while. We're talking about the Pentair, this Pentair variable speed pump called Interflow Speed Pump. And what Tom's doing is doing a cost analysis, an energy audit from around the country. He started off in Florida, then he went to California, but now he's in the Northeast. And I tell you, the money that we're going to save is going to be amazing. So, Tom, let me ask you this. Can you give us some examples of the savings for the listeners, say, with commercial pools, though?
Absolutely, Michael. This is, I have a community here that'll just blow you away with the savings. But what we're going to do is, just like we did before, we're going to do a commercial pool that is 28,000 gallons. It's running 24 hours a day because that's what the health department requires. And it's going to be at 15 cents per kilowatt. That's here in Florida. Now, the actual, and it's a 3-horsepower pump. That's a big difference from what we did before, which was a horse and a half. So the total cost in Florida for one 3-horsepower pump running 24 hours a day, a month, for the whole, and then multiply it by 12 for the whole year, is going to be $4,010.33. That's a lot of money for a community or a hotel or an apartment complex. So if they allow us to cut it out and put in a IntelliFlow variable speed pump, the price at running it now, as opposed to earlier where we were running the pool pumps at a slower speed to achieve savings on residential pools, this has to run at the same horsepower because there's flows, there's gallons per minute that it has to achieve. The actual cost of running the same pool for the year with a 3-horsepower pump is $1,491.98, saving that community $2,518.34 at the end of the year. That's a 62.8% savings a year for a community. Now, that's crazy, but it's the truth. There's no smoking guns here, Michael. This is in black and white. You can visit my website. You can do your own cost analysis, or you can go to Pentair.com and do it right there on their site.
Pentair.com. All right, we've got to move on. We only got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Okay. So what's this big announcement that you have for us today? So tell us what's going on in your industry that is earth-shaking, going to revolutionize your industry, and we're the first to report it here on Home Talk USA.
This is true, Michael. To my knowledge, I believe you are, and I'm really excited to make this announcement. About a week ago, I had gotten an email that was sent to me that the Pentair IntelliFlow variable speed pumps is the very first pool pumps in the industry to ever get the Energy Star certification. What I mean by that, for all the listeners, is when I just remodeled my kitchen about 4 years ago, my wife and I had to have the Energy Star rating. We wanted to save as much money as we could. We did a dishwasher, the refrigerator, the microwave, everything had to have that seal on it. Well, this is the first piece of pool equipment in the history for Energy Star to get certification. So that's really huge.
Well, it is, because now Energy Star is certifying that for the first time, a pool pump, a variable pool pump system, meets the qualifications of energy efficiency, a system that doesn't waste energy. And I need to tell you, we've done many shows on Energy Star products and technologies. They don't give that certification away in the mail. The testing process is unbelievable.
They started the process in 2008. Pentair approached them and said, we'd like to get certification. But let's talk about the difference here about the pool pump versus any appliance in the house. The EPA did a study, and the way I understand it, Michael, you could take all the appliances in my house. At the end of the month, the savings that these appliances get for us, my pool pump, standalone pool pump, saves more energy than all the appliances in my house can save with that energy certification. I'm so passionate about it. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I live, eat, and sleep variable speed technology, and I've sold hundreds and hundreds of these pumps. I have yet, to date, to have a single customer call me up and say, hey, Cooch, hey, Tom, I don't understand why I bought this expensive pump. It's the complete opposite. I've got customers out there selling the pumps to their neighbors for me, because they're just in awe of the amount of money that they're saving. So what can people do with this money that they're saving? That's what the listeners need to think about.
Food, you can pay down your debt, you can do some other stuff. But, hey, we're out of time, Coach. Hey, I want to thank you for breaking that story. Give us a website. How can we learn more about Cucinata's pool service and the Pentair variable pool pump system?
Michael, for anyone out there listening, if you're interested in getting an energy audit and a pump, please visit my website. It's Cucinata, and I'm going to spell it because it's not easy. It's CUCINOTTA, poolservice.com. And I'll be happy to do an energy audit and help anyone across this country to show the savings that they could get by switching out their pump.
Cucinata's Pool Service. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for being our guest on Home Talk USA.
Thanks, Michael. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you for listening to this hour of Home Talk USA. Don't go nowhere, though. For all our affiliates that have to leave us, I want to say thank you. But we still got one more hour of the best in home improvement information education. I am the Cajun Man from the Bayou Land. This is Home Talk USA right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. Always support your local independent hardware stores and garden centers. Let's pledge to hire a vet today. Pledge to vets.com. Y'all come back now. You hear? Yeah.
The opinions you hear on the Business Talk Radio Network are those of the host, callers, and guests, and not necessarily those of this station, Business Talk Radio Network, its management, or advertisers. The information on the Business Talk Radio Network does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or securities. Investing involves risks, so please consult a professional before investing. If you have any questions or comments about the Business Talk Radio Network, contact us at 203-323-7300.
USA News, I'm Sean Scott Ferguson. 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 I'm Sean Scott Ferguson.